Good morning, Somerset Academy. I'm CJ.
And I'm Gus.
Today is Friday, May 1st, and it's National School Principals Day.
So who better to celebrate than our very own principal team?
I love the students. I love the staff. I love how the kids change. So it's not always the same group of kids. You see them grow and work on themselves and then go back to their district. So it's never like a traditional district where it's the same old kids you see from kindergarten through sixth grade or through high school. It's always an evolution and seeing them work on themselves. And it's fulfilling. It's rewarding because you know you're making a difference in their lives.
The thing that I like most about working here is the students. I think that I like the array of students. The behaviors are what they are. I think it's what makes part of the day and part of the school exciting. I enjoy coming here every day.
I think I've answered this before. I love the students. They light up my day. They are wonderful. The best part about being here.
Outside of school, I play a lot of pickleball. That is my one major hobby, is pickleball for sure.
So I took up crocheting. Now that I have finished my doctorate, I've started doing woogles. So I'm currently working on a dinosaur that kind of looks like one of the ghosts from Pac-Man, but I'm getting there. I'm also goal setting on working on traveling a little bit more and just finding myself, because working on a doctorate and a dissertation just consumes your life. But I want to do more family-oriented stuff and just refining myself.
It's important to listen. It's important to listen to everyone and hear all sides. As we know, sometimes there's 2 sides, 3 sides, maybe even more. So I think it's important to listen.
Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle.
Live your best life. You know, take those days, live life to the fullest, is what I always tell everyone, because you only get one life to live.
So this is on the signature line of my email, and it is, "Who dares to teach must never cease to learn." And it's by John Cotton Dana. He actually went to Kean University, where I went. And to me, that quote means, if you're going to be a teacher, you always need to learn. Keep learning new techniques, new things, and every day we learn from our students.
Thank you for all you do. And remember, if you want to be a part of our team, don't forget to contact Mr. Rich.
Now, here's Tommy with the weather.
Welcome to Bulldog Weather Channel. I am meteorologist Tommy, and this past week, a multi-day severe weather outbreak occurred, causing the first violent tornado of the year, rated EF4, with wind speeds at 175 miles an hour. Also, Monday marked 15 years since the 2011 super outbreak. This was known as the worst tornado outbreak in U.S. history. The outbreak caused the loss of 324 people and caused insane damage in states like Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Missouri. For our forecast, some days will be warm, others will be cool. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be partly cloudy, with highs of 65, 60, and 60, and lows of 41, 40, and 41. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny, with highs of 70, 73, and 77, and lows of 53, 49, and 54. Thursday will be rainy, with the high of 72 and a low of 46. I am meteorologist Tommy, and on to current events.
Welcome back to Current Events. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's dive right in. In the Middle East, Israel and Lebanon are accusing each other of breaking their ceasefire. Israel airstrikes in Lebanon caused 14 people to be fatally injured and wounded 37 others. The measles outbreak in South Carolina, the largest the U.S. has had in decades, has just ended according to health officials. There are nearly 1,000 cases over 6 months.
But now, no new cases linked with the outbreak have been reported in more than 42 days.
Taylor Swift is taking new steps to protect her voice and likeness from AI misuse. The global pop star filed trademark applications for 2 audio clips of her voice. Individual trademarks from celebrities like Swift could become more popular. The Human Artistry campaign called on tech companies to stop training their AI tools on copyrighted works without permission from creatives.
At least a dozen Jersey Shore towns are raising their beach badge fees this summer, some increasing as much as $25. This occurs at the same time as New Jersey Transit raises prices in time for the World Cup, asking for $150 for a round trip to MetLife Stadium. That was a lot of events. Now, on to Jazzy.
Welcome to my new segment. I'm here to keep you updated about what goes on in school. On most Thursdays, we have ShopRite, so make sure you do the right thing and do your work so you can get your points up and get snacks like chips, candy, and drinks like soda and juice. Now I'm here with Miss D'Agostino. Hey, Miss D'Agostino, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Jazzy. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. What gave you the idea to start the ShopRite reward?
So, I was instructed when I came to Ed Services Commission to come up with a plan for the students. We had the ShopRite already, so we thought it would be great to incorporate the ShopRite into the behavior plan for the school to motivate the students to have access to snacks and treats that they don't normally have access to during the day.
Cool. Why do you like the ShopRite reward?
I like the ShopRite rewards because it's fun getting to see the kids when they come down to shop, and I get to see and talk to students that I don't normally work with throughout the day. So I'm getting to know them, and it's really nice to see them so excited, especially the little ones when they pick out their items that they like.
Do you think the ShopRite reward is successful?
I do think it is successful for certain students. For the majority of the students, yes. I think they really enjoy working towards it. They look forward to it. They're always asking when it's shopping. I think for some students it might not be, but for the majority, yes.
Thank you, Miss D'Agostino. Now here's my clue.
In April 1912, the RMS Titanic set to sail on its first trip across the ocean. It was one of the biggest and fanciest ships ever built, and many people believed it could not sink. But on the night of April 14th, the ship hit a huge iceberg in the cold North Atlantic Ocean. The damage was too great, and the Titanic sank early the next morning. Sadly, 1,517 people lost their lives, while 705 survived. After this tragedy, new safety rules were made to help keep people safer on ships, like adding more lifeboats and better iceberg detectors. Although this event took place 114 years ago, people still remember this tragedy of the Titanic today.
Hello again! I'm still Richard, and now that you know about the Titanic, I wanted to give more detail about that tragic night, and a lesser-known hero that day, so I hope your seat's comfy. While the Titanic was headed toward its doom, the nearby SS Californian warned the Titanic captain, Edward Smith, against continuing its sail. But, overconfident as he was, he had the Titanic continue. It didn't help that, due to what's called a superior mirage, the lookouts figured they could see any iceberg long before it became a danger. She would inevitably hit an iceberg and start to sink. That superior mirage actually made it harder to see the icebergs in the pitch black night, since the sky blended with the icebergs. Anyway, as was and still is standard procedure, the wireless operator on board sent out a distress message. The Titanic didn't have nearly enough lifeboats, and her crew didn't even know how to deploy them. But worry not, the Californian was still only about 10 miles away. Surely she could arrive in time to save at least most of the passengers and crew. Except her telegraph operator, wireless operator, had gone to bed and the message was never received. But wait! There were flares aboard the Titanic. If her crew shot off enough, the California would have seen them and come to the Titanic's aid. Except, of course, due to the crew's inexperience, they started shooting off all different colors of flares. So those who were awake at the time aboard the Californian thought the rescue flares were celebratory and shrugged it off. Now we get to my favorite part. The RMS Carpathia, 60 miles away, got the message and her captain, Arthur Henry Rostron, had her spin around and full steam ahead towards the sinking ship. The Carpathia burned a week's worth of coal in 4 hours that night, and the boilers were all redlining, or operating at their maximum capacity, which they started covering the gauges because they didn't care. They just wanted to go. The temperature of her boilers even got so hot that 2 of them melted and were permanently damaged. She couldn't go that fast anymore. Another interesting fact is that the Carpathia's max speed during testing, with the wind at her back and perfect conditions, was 4.4 knots, or about 17 miles an hour. Fast for a ship at the time. Well, that night she went at least 18 knots, or 20 miles an hour. In fact, that's the highest her speedometer went. She could have been going faster, we'll never know. Roughly 4 hours after receiving the Titanic's distress signal, at 4 a.m. on April 14, 1912, the Carpathia rescued the 705 survivors, and the Californian, now aware of their mistake, offered its assistance. The Carpathia's captain answered, "All that you could have done already has been done." The survivors were brought to New York, and the Carpathia and Californian resumed their jobs, until during World War I, when they were sunk by German U-boats. The Carpathia wasn't about to go down easily, though, as she took 3 torpedoes before she sank, one of which could easily sink a warship double her size. Phew! Thank you for listening to my rant. Now here's Tommy with the sports.
Welcome to Bulldog Sports Broadcasting Channel. I am Tommy with our special guest CJ.
Hello.
And we have baseball, basketball, and NFL for us today.
This past Monday was Babe Ruth Day. Babe Ruth was born on February 6, 1895. He is known for his world record of 714 home runs. Babe Ruth led the Yankees to 4 World Series and won 7 in his career.
In the NFL, last week was the NFL draft. Fernando Mendoza was the first person to be picked, going to the Raiders. Other good picks include Mekhi Lemon to the Eagles, Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals, and Caleb Downs to the Cowboys. In the NBA, the playoffs continue, with 2 games finishing so far. The Thunder will go to the semifinals, beating the Suns 4-0, winning every single game. The Spurs will go to the semifinals, beating the Trailblazers 4-1. I'm Tommy.
And I'm Christian.
Now back to BNN.
Thanks for watching BNN. Thank you, Miss Fox and Donnie, for the pizza. Happy birthday, Mr. Stibbett, and have a good and safe weekend.